Back in 1992, Wolfenstein 3D pioneered the first-person shooting genre. The storyline was set in World War II and was pretty basic. You're an American spy, the Nazis have captured you and thrown you in a dungeon, and you have to kill them all to get out. Fast forward 25 years. The storyline's been rebooted in Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, which comes out today. It's set in an alternate world where the Nazis won the war, colonized America, and are letting the KKK run wild. It's up to you to take America back. Tommy Bjork is a narrative designer at the Swedish-based company that developed the new Wolfenstein. He wrote the dialogue and the backstory of the new game.
How much were you thinking about current events when you were writing this story?
So when we started making the game, and it was in 2014, we started writing the story. We had already known that we were going to America. We had no idea that
there would be actual Nazis.
That there would be actual Nazis in American streets. Growing up in the 80s in Sweden, we had like a wave of racism and neo-Nazism. When I was a kid and a teenager, you had like Nazis marching on the street just like you do now in American streets.
It sounds kind of personal for you.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I fucking hate Nazis. Can you say that?
You can say that.
So it's like, to me, working on this series is, it just feels really good to contribute to the series like this, which has at its core this anti-Nazi message, and I think that's good.
But not everyone likes the anti-Nazi messaging. Some gamers have gotten on social media to protest the company's ad campaigns, or even threaten to boycott the game altogether. This hasn't fazed Bethesda, the company who's publishing and promoting the game. Instead of shying away from the political messaging, Pete Hines, the company's PR director, is doubling down on it.
A lot of companies would say, back away from it, please buy our game.
Well, there's one main difference between us and our game and everything else, which is the game's about Nazis. Unless you're a Nazi, there should be nobody who is opposed to the idea of being against Nazis. Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, it shouldn't matter. Like, everybody should be unified in that against those particular folks.
Make America Nazi-free again, or not my America. Basically, it sounds like, okay, are we talking about Trump here?
No, we're talking about Nazis.
You're kind of poking the hornet's nest here.
Maybe a little bit, but the hornet's nest is full of Nazis, so fuck those guys. Like, I'll poke a Nazi hornet's nest.
Who the fuck are you, white boy?
The game goes beyond just Nazis, though. There's also some commentary on how white people and black people often see America differently. BJ Blazkowicz, the character you control, isn't always comfortable with that.
We're organizing for a revolution in America.
We?
Most people know Deborah Wilson from her time as a comedian on Mad TV.
You know who's running the South after the Nazis took over? The Ku Klux motherfucking Klan.
Huh, am I right?
But in Wolfenstein, her character seems modeled after the Black Panthers. She plays Grace Walker, the leader of the revolution against the Nazis.
Black America's been fighting the Nazis, you know, in this fictional world. And Grace has to really lay it down and explain to BJ, hey, there's this thing we have called racism here. Maybe you heard of it. A lot of people playing it, it's gonna be white dudes, just looking at demographics, right? And that will make some people uncomfortable, I think.
I think gameplay should make you uncomfortable.
Really?
I absolutely believe that. Why? Because you don't learn from comfort levels. If you're comfortable in the first grade, you can stay there, but that's not gonna allow you to move forward.
I think a lot of people, when they play games, they don't want to be challenged like that. They may not be seeking that.
That's okay if you don't seek it. You don't have to want to seek that.
But it's kind of pushed.
It's going to be there anyway, and it doesn't. And here's the thing: the game doesn't push that. It has its own agenda as a game, and as a game, it will do as such. You get a chance to immerse yourself in it because you're the catalyst. Once you put the game down, the game is over. The game is stopped. but you're still constantly psychologically moving through your day, your experience, your life, and every relationship that you have, and how you relate to everything in your world. But when you pick it back up again, you can immerse yourself and make choices and say, I choose not to go that far in it. I just want to play. That's up to you. That's America.